Vacation Bible School is a really big deal at DeSoto Hills Baptist Church. It takes a massive amount of energy to pull this event off each and every year. We started adding some of those elements that you see today at Vacation Bible School at DeSoto Hills way back at Carriage Hills in 2004. In 2004, 2005, we started using a live band. Many churches don't end up using live bands at Vacation Bible School, but here at DeSoto Hills, we do. Ever since those days at Carriage Hills, we continue to use live bands and grow the worship experience each and every year. Doing this type of service takes a lot of technical gear and elements. We are blessed at DeSoto Hills to have a whole lot of gear at our disposal. The lighting that you see on our rig back here is a number of R1 washes, Chave R1s, Chave Intimidator 360 spots. We also on the floor use Chave Intimidator Wave 360s. We have a Martin Hazer. All of it is rigged up on global trussing with a specialized rigging that was designed by Innovative Solutions here in the Memphis area. And a shout out to Innovative, they are incredible and help us each and every year. All of these lighting elements are programmed ahead of time, and then we use Show Express software to trigger the lights during the actual performance. Many churches often ask about the backdrops, and every year you'll see a different backdrop depending on the theme. We actually rent those backdrops, and there's a bunch of different companies that you can locate online to rent backdrops from. The price is going to range. It's going to depend on how many days that you want the drop. They're typically rented by the week. We get a week and a half to 2 weeks because we like to have that backdrop up the Sunday before VBS, and then of course you can't ship it back until the Monday after. We do not use the traditional VBS music. The live band actually plays more contemporary worship songs. I typically pick high energy songs and then rearrange those to work for children. We often shorten the songs down a whole lot. This particular year, we're doing several songs that the actual originals are about 6 to 7 minutes, and I've actually chopped them down to about 3. We try to pick things that the kids will gravitate towards and really enjoy worshiping along with. Around 12 years ago, we started doing the closing celebration at the end of the day. That has become probably one of the most popular elements of Vacation Bible School each year. The earliest versions of the closing celebration time were very relaxed. Children would just yell up at the stage, hey, we want to hear the Baby Shark, or we want to hear the Hokey Pokey. And these were very early versions of these tunes. Today, they have become full-scale, well-planned out sets, literally designed down to the minute. The operation here is so large that we have to schedule it in great detail. You'll often see all of our workers with radios. We're constantly calling out all of the start and stop times to make sure that we're keeping everything on track and on schedule. The song list has actually become so large that we pull from that we end up not being able to perform every song every year, which ends up bumming a lot of the kids out. We try to do a good mix and then rearrange some things to make it new and fresh. People often ask where we source this music from. We actually do it all in-house. These are things that either I've written or things that I've heard. I take them and rearrange them and actually write out and record all of the tracks that we use. A lot of times I'll use people from like Nashville and Memphis, local producers, to help me. I'll actually flesh out the arrangement and then send pieces of those files to them and have them add to it and mix. We're very intentional on how these things sound, and I'm very, very picky about it. Casey Moore actually helped me with the Clap Your Hands version that we're doing this year, and if you were to ask him, he would tell you. I kept sending it back to him and asking for changes to be made because I wanted a whole lot of low end, a whole lot of kick drum, and a whole lot of snare drum, because I've designed these things to be very dance-like tracks to try to bring out a certain feel and keep that energy level just really, really high. We actually begin planning all of these songs out for the closing celebration in October and November, a year out. That gives me plenty of time to write and produce and record all of the content that we're going to use. Once we've got that done, we actually have to produce the video content that's on the screens that the students see. Some of that content I actually build. A lot of the animations we actually hire out from people outside of the church. So all of those elements have to align and have to get done well ahead of Vacation Bible School. So it takes a lot of planning and a lot of very careful thought. Now, if you were to ask the kids their favorite part about closing celebration, without a doubt, they're going to mention our trick effects. We do two types of trick effects during the closing celebration. The first of which is the bubble machines. Now, the bubble machines are actually a Chave Bubble King, and we use a very specialized formula in those machines so that our floor doesn't get too slick. It is a water-based bubble formula, and we use 3 machines that are lined up in the catwalk area, and then we use a number of big box fans that actually blow those bubbles out into the multi-purpose center. Once those bubbles hit a child or the furniture or the floor, they dry very, very quickly. The machines can pump out a ton of bubbles, so we typically only leave them on for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and that's enough to fill the MPC with thousands and thousands and thousands of bubbles. The other trick effect that we use is the confetti cannons. I've had people ask, are those like loaded with like any type of explosives? They're actually a really, really cool confetti cannon, and they're made by Chave as well. They're called Funfetti shot launchers. And these are actually really, really high-powered fans. And you just dump the confetti into the loading bay, and then whenever the remote is triggered, those really high-powered fans come on and shoot the confetti. They literally launch the confetti about 15 to 20 feet in the air. And let me tell you, the kids go absolutely bonkers whenever those confetti cannons go off. It takes loads of volunteers and specialized talent to pull off Vacation Bible Schools of this magnitude. We are very blessed at DeSoto Hills. Special thanks to everyone who helps to make this event so great each and every year. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click subscribe. We'll see you next time.